We are now joined by our reporter who's also on the ground, Lois Wangoi. And Lois, obviously the question that many will be asking, why this contradiction in numbers? How did the government of West Pokot get it so wrong and give us totally different figures from what the official national government spokesperson is talking about?
Indeed, Ken, that is the biggest question on this particular day. But having spoken to Governor Lonyangapuo earlier on phone before this particular live feed, he noted that the national government was trying to suppress the numbers that they have here, which stand at 58 persons having lost their lives. This, he says, is because the government's response has also been very, very poor, and he noted perhaps this is their way of cleansing their poor response here in West Pokot by downplaying the numbers. Colonel Cyrus Oguna giving a figure of 43 dead persons. Still, the county government here, through the area governor Lonyangapuo, maintained that they did identify positively 58 bodies of persons who lost their lives following that landslide that occurred on Saturday morning, wiping out the villages of Parua, Nyarkulian, and Mwino. We will still keep on with those figures, trying to understand how come these two governments are giving contradictory statements. But as I noted, Colonel Cyrus Oguna has dismissed as rumors and propaganda any number above 43. Area governor on his end maintains that the national government is trying to downplay the matter, this being in response to the poor response, he says, that the people of West Pokot have received from the government. While he was giving his statement, Colonel Cyrus Oguna, the government spokesman, also noted that the Kenyan government continues to give a lot of support to those who suffered that particular landslide here in West Pokot, noting that the KDF under the Disaster Response Unit are also in the process of supplying of airlifting food, water, tents, and even medical supplies to the 3 villages which were adversely affected by that particular landslide. In his statement, he noted West Pokot is among the 33 other counties which continue to suffer the brunt of heavy rains ongoing in the country, and his pledge on this particular day was to the residents of those 33 counties which have been placed on alert to move to areas of safety, if only to spare more lives from being lost from the ongoing heavy downpour in the country. Also, he noted that the government still needs a lot of support in responding to the needs of about 1,500 persons who have been displaced here in West Pokot and other numbers outside the county in those 33 counties. And he called on Kenyans of goodwill, non-governmental organizations too, and even other Kenyans to contribute towards these particular affected Kenyans, noting if the government was to do it alone, then they would need amounts of close to 1.2 billion shillings monies to reconstruct the lives of those affected by the ongoing landslide and even floods in the country. Colonel Cyrus Oguna had intended to make his way to the villages, of course accompanied by Area County Commissioner, Mr. Apollo Kelo, but he knows that the weather is not very encouraging in those parts of the villages, and as such, he is trapped at Kapenguria at the heart of West Pokot County, noting that he will be making his way to the villages perhaps tomorrow or the day after if the weather is very conducive. Ken, we did manage also to visit with those who continue to recuperate at Kapenguria County Referral Hospital, and the medical superintendent there, Dr. Shimali, noted that the situation of those who are in danger has somehow been contained, and all of the 14 persons that were taken to that particular hospital are in good condition, or they are responding very well to treatment. After talking to the persons who are still in hospital, we did manage a conversation with Kamket. Heshima Kamket, he's the MP for Tiati, who visited with them, and later he told us that he will be heading to the villages to try and also condole with the residents of those particular 3 villages. We want to wait and see if his particular visit will bear fruit. Granted that Colonel Cyrus Oguna disrupted his planned visit to the villages because of the weather that he says is not very, very good for landing. He notes there are very heavy winds, which may have disturbed his visit to those particular villages. But as I noted, a number of politicians from the region led by Tiati MP, Mr. Kamket, they are heading to that particular area, to the villages, Mwino in particular, and it will be interesting to see if they will be able to land and what support they will be giving, granted that Colonel Cyrus Oguna has postponed his visit owing to poor weather. Later, we'll also be seeking a word with the area governor, Governor Lonyangapuo, to just understand how he landed at this 58 figure, granted that the national government has downplayed it as rumors, and asking the residents of West Pokot to understand that it is only 43 persons who have lost their lives, even as they continue to assure them of the national government support moving forward. Ken?